How's it going? Been a long day, hasn't it? It's been a great day. It's been a great day. I'm still the same guy I was 5 hours ago, Marty Blair, Vice President for Research, and I'm happy to be here. We're going to go ahead and get started. We know that there are some of you in the line still. Stay in the line, that's fine, and we would ask you as you get your drinks to just kind of come in quietly when you can to enjoy our keynote speaker this evening. I've got to say, this has been a tremendous day. I have learned so very, very much. What I didn't tell you earlier today is what my background is. I started my career as a special education teacher a long, long time ago. And then I went through my career in disability policy, through education and technology policy. So those of you that were doing, I saw some stuff on autism, and I saw some stuff on disability and spinal cord injury and all those sorts of things. Those mean something to me because those are my career for the past 30 years. And it made me remember my time in your shoes as a researcher, which was many, many years ago. You are all doing excellent work. I don't know how many of you have seen outside this room. As you go outside the ballroom and as you turn left, we have what's called the ISU patent wall. Those are patents that have been filed and granted to researchers at Idaho State University. And you may not know this, and we haven't marked these. A handful of the people on that list are students who have worked with their faculty. These are students who left Idaho State University with a licensed patent. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some people sitting at tables here who end up on that patent wall sometime in the next year or two or three. That would be exciting for me and exciting for Idaho State University as you begin your career. Well, we're here. I want to, again, tell you what I said earlier today. I want to thank you for your time and for your effort, and I especially want to thank your faculty who have given so much of their time to get you to this point and who want you to be successful. Your faculty wants you to be successful more than you could ever imagine. And I invite you to, as I said earlier, to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep creating, to keep innovating, and most importantly, to keep sharing. Tonight, our keynote speaker is Dr. Tori Sharp. She is an associate professor in the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders, and also the program director for the PhD program in Rehabilitation Health Sciences here at Idaho State University. Dr. Sharp earned her PhD from the University of Pittsburgh and brings over 20 years of clinical experience to her scholarship and her learning and teaching. She directs the Sharp Language and Brain Lab at ISU's Pocatello campus here and co-founded the Mountain West Aphasia Research Collective, which includes at least one other faculty person who I'm well acquainted with, who I've worked with over the years. It's interesting. As your career grows, you'll begin to connect with people in different universities around the country. What an exciting thing that is to grow your careers together. Dr. Sharp's research examines patient outcomes in intensive aphasia rehabilitation, focusing on discourse-level variables, student training, and patient satisfaction, along with family care partner perspectives. Now, hopefully, she will explain to us what all that means. She also co-leads an international working group on intensive comprehensive aphasia programs and was a guest editor for the 2024 Aphasiology Special Issue. She is an accomplished teacher and an accomplished researcher. Dr. Sharp actively contributes to her field and her academic community, holding an elected position on ISU's Research Council. That's a council that's advisory to us in the Office of Research. And she recently completed a term on the executive board of the Academy of Neurologic Communication Disorders and Sciences. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Tori Sharp. That was great. Who gave the woo-woo out there? Let's hear it. Let's give it for Tori Sharp. Everybody, whoa.
Alrighty, thank you very much for that thoughtful introduction. I'm honored to be able to spend some time with you this evening. Special thank you to Dr. Tracy Collum, our interim dean of the graduate school, and to our behind the scenes and in front of the scenes event coordinators, Carissa Miller and Amanda Bennett, who have worked so hard to put this event together today. Let's give them a round of applause, please. And of course, thank you to the students. You are the reason we get to be here today and celebrate your work, your ideas, and facilitate your scholarly efforts. So I confess I jumped at the chance to be able to speak today because as an educator, I place a very high value on student engagement. And as a scientist, I take responsibility in communicating my science well to others. Now, I was given quite a bit of leeway with my topic tonight, which, Tracy will give me some feedback on that a little bit later. But that also gave me a chance to lean in to a really nerdy statistics joke. Everybody ready? I should say ready or not. Here we go. Statisticians love whoever they spend the most time with. In fact, that's their statistically significant other. For those online, people really are laughing, I promise. Now, it could be a courtesy laugh, but there was indeed laughter, I assure you. So we all know, though, that talking about stats only gets us so far when we talk about research. So in lieu of a very in-depth, highly detailed, research-heavy conversation at the end of a research-heavy day, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach to our conversation and our time together tonight. So instead of hearing from yet another scholar, we get to lean in to the collective wisdom in the room. So we are going to consider together how we can blend the art and science of communicating our research in powerful ways. So while searching for some images that would really help exemplify this notion of blending art and science together, this image really spoke to me. I appreciate its mix of structure in conjunction with its softness, along with the color variation. This image helps us, though, to consider yet another critical concept connected to communication, and that is interpretation. We will engage together tonight in some different levels of interpretation. Now, some people think in images, while others think in words. The words that we use matter. The context in which we use them also matters. I do have a couple students in the room that will be familiar with this video clip. I show it in my adult neurogenics class, and I show it to really underscore the value of our right hemisphere of our brain and our left hemisphere of our brain coordinating together to elevate the message at hand. So we're gonna watch it together, and then I'm gonna have you turn to your neighbor and talk about what you noticed. What you noticed. One moment. Note that I received 0 royalties from State Farm, and I did indeed find a State Farm commercial without Jake and without Patrick Mahomes. Here we go.
Call you back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
I'm gonna turn up the volume a little bit.
Call you back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong,
What a day!
but also here with car loans to help life go right.
Please go ahead and speak with your neighbor for just a moment about what you noticed in this commercial. All right, let's come back together, please. And Anna is going to be supporting our work here tonight as we communicate what we are sharing with one another. Do we have a brave volunteer to talk about what was shared at their table for what they noticed? There will be many opportunities to volunteer tonight, so if you want to get yours out of the way, now would be a good time.
Okay.
What we noticed is the words that they were saying, they both said the same thing. However, the way they were saying them were different. The meaning behind them were different.
Excellent, thank you. Does that resonate with other conversations in the room? Absolutely, the script was identical, but the delivery matters. Context matters. In our research and our creative works, context matters. And this commercial underscores that. Now let's explore this notion of communication and interpretation through a creative work. This is a work by Brian Kershiznik, who has an installation currently at the BYU Museum of Art in Provo. My partner and I recently had the opportunity to view this installation, and we were both captivated by this particular piece of art. This artist invests in the human experience and tries to capture an essence behind the human experience. Please go ahead and share with your neighbor a little bit about what you notice in this creative work and consider what you would title this work. See you in a few. All right, let's come back together, please. So Anna is available if we have a brave volunteer for someone willing to share a title that they have in mind. Thank you. Ashley.
Okay.
Well, do I share your title or mine?
How about both?
So duality was one of hers, just the duality of humans, and then I came up with vision because it seems like they're sharing the same vision, shared eye. Yeah.
One more table, please.
Okay.
So for my title, it was Separate Identities, Same Love.
Excellent. And because I don't like to leave my students hanging, I will share that the title of this work is Empathy. For those online, there was a collective ooh in the room that happened. So yeah, the title of this work was Empathy. Now, this painting is a good reminder that we as consumers of the research or of the creative works bring our own levels of interpretation to the table. And your cumulative lived experience fuels that interpretation. So let's pivot to today. Because I am a big nerd at heart, I used a random number generator to select 6 titles from our program today. These were the 6 titles that were identified. Take just a moment to skim through. Here are some things that I noticed about these titles and about this event today. I noticed that I don't think I have ever thought about a rodent and a zebrafish in the same concept before. I noticed that I have such respect for the wide array of interests, research questions, methodologies, and interests of our students and how they were elevated today. And I applaud our faculty mentors for engaging with the full spectrum of research interests across Idaho State University. That work and that commitment is inspiring. Something else we might notice about titles is that they can draw you in or encourage you to maybe keep walking to the next poster in line. We might have all had that experience today. But it also challenges us to stretch ourselves to learn about concepts that we ourselves are not engaging with routinely. You can have the smartest research question with the most clearly delineated research methodology, an interesting, influential outcome. But if you can't communicate that outcome to the audience at hand, that science just can't go as far. We have to be able to clearly communicate our science and tailor that message to our audience in order to be able to truly engage with our scientific community and advance our science. Here are a couple of my recent publications, and I'll use this as a backdrop to exemplify tailoring to an audience. Now, Dr. Blair requested that maybe I share a little bit about aphasia. So aphasia is a communication disorder that often occurs after someone has a brain injury, more specifically and most commonly, some type of stroke. Now, if I were going to communicate my research agenda to a fellow aphasiologist, so someone in my very close subfield, I might focus my conversation and infuse it with technical jargon. Talk about the converging evidence and the proof of concept and acceptability and feasibility of this particular service delivery model and what high intensive practice looks like within a cohort. If I were talking to someone in a rehab profession, so a sister discipline, I might talk about how I get to study how high intensity cognitive communication treatment and what their outcomes are represented status post CVA. Again, that technical jargon is maintained. If I were talking to a savvy research audience, like I get to do today, I might frame my research area as examining the impact of high doses of speech-language therapy for stroke survivors with a communication disorder. And then one could argue my most important audience is the stroke survivors themselves. So to pitch my research to them, I might say, I would talk about how I get to study patients who get a lot of practice, 4 to 5 hours a day over 2 weeks. A lot of practice with their language skills to see if there are indeed improvements in their communication. Tailoring your science, your ideas, your creativity to an audience is a skill, and it's a skill that can be practiced. But sometimes it's not a research program or agenda we get to talk about. Sometimes it's a really complex theory or concept or hypothesis or observation. There are many different origin stories that prompt good science. So if I were gonna try to disentangle a specific concept that really helps underlie my research program, I might talk about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, that ability to change and reorganize within the brain at the cellular level to help build new neural connections, those connections between those brain cells, strengthen some existing ones, and try to work around areas of infarct or damage. I wonder if this image speaks to you, or might this image be more powerful as I'm talking about neuroplasticity and trying to communicate my message? So now we're going to engage just a little bit more intimately with your research questions and your creative works. Go ahead and think to yourself for a moment and build an image for yourself of what you think of when you hear the word path. Go ahead and build that image for yourself now. And I won't ask you to share broadly, but do go ahead and share with your neighbor. Try to describe the image that you have of your path. And you can think about it in your trajectory as a student, in your trajectory of your research program, in your trajectory of what's happening in your life tomorrow. Go ahead and share with a neighbor for just a moment. All right, let's come back together. So I won't make you share your image, but I will offer you a couple of examples. Perhaps your path looked like this. Sometimes as students, we might feel like we're walking the plank a little bit, or maybe only seeing that one step in front of us. Does your path look or feel like this, with an uncertain bend around the corner? Or perhaps feeling like you're a bit living on the edge? Or are you like me and you saw Wicked 3 times in the theater, and therefore this is the path that primes for you today? Or are you thinking, path? What path? I need to sit and be silent for a moment before I engage with my path. Sometimes when we think of paths, all we can consider are the barriers that are in place to those paths, and are there strategies for us to remove those barriers? In science, often we are trying to knock out individual barriers with our next research question and our next study. So for the next few moments, we're going to utilize this path. This hangs in our living room. I hope my partner recognizes it. We purchased it at the ISU art auction many years ago now. And when I think of the word path, this is what comes to mind. And I get to think about my trajectory in life as well as my research findings. Let's do a little bit of work to consider your path today. Today, you are here. You are at that bend. You had an opportunity to present your findings, engage with the scholarly community, think about the science in ways that you maybe hadn't had a chance to engage with before, and hopefully learn about a topic you never even recognized was part of our ISU community. You've reached a critical benchmark on your path as a student, and your accomplishment today will live forever on your CV or your resume. Well done. Let's think for a moment, though, about how we got here. All of the effort that happened before we hit today's bend. Please go ahead and speak with your neighbor and talk for just a moment. Reflect on the prior evidence, your observations, building your knowledge base, learning a new medium if you're a creative person, and what efforts and what mentorship and feedback loops you engaged with to land at your product today. Go ahead and speak with your neighbor. I'll talk to you soon. All right, let's come back together, please. Sounds like we're having some engaging discussions. That is terrific. Is someone willing to share a little bit about the cumulative experience that brought them to Research Day today? Anna, it looks like we have someone right over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so what really got me into research was Dr. Donna Liebecker. She's my advisor and one of the head of the political science graduate department. And so she's the one who convinced me to declare for political science. And my topic today was actually my undergraduate thesis that I'm revamping for publication at the grad level. and she convinced me that East Asia was where I should spend the majority of my focus, since that's where the majority of my interest was, and that could tie into further global politics. And so I really wouldn't be here today without her.
Excellent. Yes, we can all give a round of applause for our mentors. Absolutely. And research mentors play such an important role in helping build that foundation. And in fact, I will give a quick shout out to my PhD mentor, Dr. Connie Tompkins. Today happens to be her birthday. She is long since retired, but has been influential in my world. And I am grateful for her as my biggest critic, yet biggest supporter, which I suspect many of you can understand that perspective. Is someone else willing to share their journey to today? If someone doesn't volunteer, Dr. Blair will have to speak. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So at our table, we talked a lot about just the process of making a poster and how much time and reiteration you have to invest, and being proud of just that effort of just getting the submission of your poster, not even getting through your talk or speech. And also maybe having nightmares about your 2-minute elevator speech.
2 minutes can feel like an eternity, can't it? Absolutely, absolutely. So while today is such a critical milestone, we need to be thoughtful about acknowledging what helped us get to this point. Those rough drafts, those late nights, those will I submit or won't I submit, those tense moments of will it be accepted, and then, oh my gosh, I said I was gonna do it, and now I have to do it. We've all been there. So all good work ends up being a starting point to the next best question. So now, consider your audience, consider and tailor your conversation about what is your next step as a graduate student, as an undergraduate student, or on this line of research. Go ahead and chat with your neighbor. I'll see you soon. All right, if we could come back together. I'm going to interrupt you for just a moment to challenge you now to think about how do we get from here to here. Go ahead and continue your conversation. All right, let's come back together, please. And do we have someone who's willing to share their perspective, either about this time point or that time point? Thank you.
Well, a third of the way through, COVID set me back 2 years on my undergrad. I'm certain it did that to a lot of people in this room. But when I finally finished my undergrad, I realized that if I really wanted to get where I needed to end up, where I wanted to do the work I want, then I needed to go to grad school. And so that was really what pushed me into grad school, was just that knowledge that I'm halfway through. I'm not at the end of my educational journey yet. And once I finally get done with grad school, then that opens up a lot more doors for me down the road.
Thank you so much. And I promise I did not coach this gentleman before my talk. However, we talk about here, but what we really know is this just leads to here. And if in your brain you're thinking, you know what, Tori? Graduation is the only thing on my mind right now. I am with you. I see you, and our faculty are always your champions when it comes to reaching those specific milestones. No question. So as I round things out with my time with you tonight, if you've ever been a student of mine, you know that I like to engage in knowledge checks. So this is our chance to do a knowledge check. I would like you to turn to your neighbor and talk to them a little bit about 2 take-home points from your cumulative experience here at Research Day. What are 2 take-home points that you are going to remember from this day? Share with your neighbor. All right, let's come back together, please. And I would love to hear a few perspectives of a couple of take-home points. So Anna, let's find some eager volunteers. Oh, thank you. Here we go. Hi, Letty.
So what I saw and I found very interesting is that there's a lot more researchers than I expected, especially across disciplines, across species, different models. So that was very interesting and really nice to see.
Excellent, thank you. Anna, there was someone right at the table behind. Thank you. All right.
I just thought it was a great opportunity for collaboration, being able to share your research. It either sparked a lot of ideas in other people, or it made you kind of look retrospective at your own research and to be able to make changes from there.
Excellent. In the front?
The front? What did I see?
Oh, thank you. As someone presenting in the creative works category, the intersection being able to be had between the sciences and art was just invaluable to me. Having insights from researchers in the sciences and having them resonate with my work was incredibly touching. And just having this opportunity as a creative as well to see everyone's research and how it intersects with my art and art that I've seen, it was just really invaluable.
Thank you, I appreciate that perspective. Please. We're recording online as well, so thank you.
Yes, we know.
My only suggestion, and it's from a very positive side, is that the people that were presenting the posters, we did not get to see the creative work, and I was looking forward, I think it was Packer, his name, and I was really looking forward to that. So if a suggestion, if you can keep it out for a couple of days so we can come back and see it and appreciate all the effort the creative people put into it, I really appreciate that.
Excellent, we will make sure that feedback is shared. How about one more closing comment here? Yep, across the room, Anna's getting her workout today. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I don't mind.
I was moderating for a room, and it was for health sciences, and it was nice to see some real-time collaboration we had. Some people on Zoom, we're going to connect them. They wanted to meet together and connect their projects, which was, I haven't witnessed that before, but it was cool to see that people actually come here and really want to collaborate. And it does show that, if you ask, people around, they'll respond, and maybe you could join in on their research. So, yeah.
Excellent. I don't want to cut anybody off. We'll do some pausing. Wonderful. Well, I hope that you take some time in a small way or in a big way to celebrate your success from tonight. As I said, this entry will live on your CV or your resume in perpetuity, and I continue to reflect on my entries from being an undergraduate research and graduate researcher, and as it has propelled me into academia and different levels of academia. I will close with a comment from my 97-year-old grandfather, who I got to spend some time with just last week. And he and I have had very different lived experiences. He has lived in the same county his entire life. I have had the privilege of moving around. He was a dairy farmer, lifelong dairy farmer, and generational farmer. And he likes to tease me about my academic knowledge, that I know a whole heck of a lot about a whole little teeny tiny part of the world. So I celebrate your teeny tiny part of the world that you were able to exemplify today in this esteemed setting. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Well done.
Thank you, Dr. Sharp. That was a very invigorating and interactive keynote, so we greatly appreciate it. Students, did you have a great day? Good. Glad to hear it. We are going to do awards in just a few minutes, so you still have to hold tight, but not for long. We would like to invite President Robert Wagner up to say a few words to greet you. Dr. Wagner.
Well, thank you. You're an awesome site. It's fantastic. Congratulations on all the great work that you've accomplished together, our undergraduate and graduate students, our faculty. The research that's being done at Idaho State University is truly incredible. And most important, the word that I would choose to use that I love using is impactful. The research being done here is impactful. It's making a difference. And our world needs it now more than ever. So thank you for your great work. Thank you to our students. This is incredible. I was just about an hour ago, I was next door here in the Student Union building for Bengal Giving Day, where Bengal Nation rose up to give over $600,000 to this institution for this next year to promote and to support things just like this. Impactful teaching, impactful learning, impactful research, experiential learning and experiences, all the things that we do so well at Idaho State University. My parting words to you, in addition to congratulations and well done and excellent job to all of you, is I want you to know, as was demonstrated next door just about an hour ago and for the last 48 hours, I want you to know that you have a Bengal Nation behind you. You have a Bengal Nation supporting you, cheering for you, congratulating you and saying, keep up the great work while you're here at Idaho State, and for our students, wherever your life and professional journey takes you, keep up the great work, keep making an impact, because you're going to be part of Bengal Nation too. So thank you all very, very much. Congratulations again, and thank you for representing this institution so very, very well. And the last thing I'm going to say is go Bengals.
All right, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Awards. I just want to say two things. This is such a wonderful event. It is, and even for our office, it's complex, multifaceted. We have presenters in Pocatello and the Meridian campus and online. And these are like, sometimes I feel like I wish I can clone myself and view all of the presentations. But once again, kudos to our event coordinators. Amanda and Carissa, they did a wonderful job tonight. And kudos to all of you. I didn't get to see all of you, but I celebrate your research and your accomplishments today. All right, so as a reminder, we'll announce the undergraduate awards. There's a first and second winner for the oral presentation, a first and second winner for the poster presentation, and then a top for the creative works. And then for the grad awards, there's a top winner for each category in both the poster and the oral presentations. And then there's a little bit of choreography for our winners tonight. So if I call your name, we'll have you come up on stage. Carissa will escort you back behind the stage. And then Dr. Collin will, Marty, thank you. So many people. We'll give you your award, and then don't go too far. We'll give you a little award token, and then stick around, and we'll do a group photo. And then this is on YouTube Live, so if you want, you can wave hello to your loved ones or your mom on YouTube Live. All right, so with that, we'll go ahead and get started. our first award for top undergraduate presentation in creative works goes to Riley Ortiz. Is Riley here? All right, next. All right, next is second place undergraduate poster presentation goes to Kyla Johnston and Jeremy Hernandez. Yeah, you do not have to be present to win, and if there's any online presenters, we'll be mailing your award in the mail. All right, first place undergraduate poster presentation goes to Diana Cortez. We have a winner. Yay, congratulations. Go ahead. All right. And then we have, for second place, undergraduate oral presentation goes to Andrea Salvajevic. All right, and this is the last award for undergraduates. First place in undergraduate oral presentation goes to Pramesh Shah. All right, and congratulations to all the undergraduate winners. All right, so this is for the poster categories. So top graduate poster presentation in humanities, behavioral, and social sciences goes to Spencer Moore and Nix Call. Congrats, Spencer. All right, up next, top graduate poster presentation in health, nutrition, and clinical sciences goes to Christopher Nicolette. All right, up next, top graduate poster presentation in engineering, physical, and mathematical sciences goes to Salgit Dotel. Oh, yeah. Did I pronounce your name okay? Gotcha. All right, top graduate poster presentation in education, learning, and training, Emily Knapp. Oh, she's in Meridian. Okay, thanks, Dr. Weaver. Congrats to the Meridian people. All right. Top graduate poster presentation in Business, Economics, and Public Administration is Susanna Algudello. Woohoo! Good. All right, top graduate poster presentation in biological and natural sciences goes to Anna Sinadach. Yes, Anna better. All right, now we're on to the oral presentations. So top graduate oral presentation in humanities, behavioral and social sciences goes to Kiera Burns. Okay. Congrats. Good call. All right, top graduate oral presentation in health, nutrition, and clinical sciences goes to Dallin Farmer. All right. Top graduate oral presentation in engineering, physical, and mathematical sciences goes to MD Fazil Rabi.
You're taking all my money this year.
All right, I know this student's online. Top graduate oral presentation in education, learning, and training goes to Emily Fitterer. Congrats, Emily. Yay. All right. Top graduate oral presentation in business, economics, and public administration goes to Reynez Karania. I butchered that name. No, go around. Sorry about your name.
It's all right. Try again next week.
Next time. Photo. So, top graduate oral presentation in biological and natural sciences goes to Pooja Sapkota.
Okay, awesome. All right, congratulations to our winners. So wonderful job, everybody. And I heard so many great things about all of your presentations. The judges walked away saying, these are really tight. So you should all be proud of what you did and accomplished today. So congratulations. Winners, you are going to come up to these steps and we're going to do a group picture. Everyone else, food, there is desserts, reception is open, the windows have been opened. Feel free to mix and mingle. Thank you all for such a great day.